I'm joined tonight by Joy Reid, who is the host of the Reid Report here on MSNBC, 2 o'clock Eastern Time, and also Mike Papantonio, Ring of Fire radio host and America's Attorney. Joy, what do you make of Jeb Bush taking a swipe at the president? He's not running against the president.
He will not. He's not running against this president, but Jeb Bush wants to run for president in 2016. I don't think it's any.
You think he's in?
Anyone? I think he's in. I think Jeb wants to run. He's been wanting to run. And what he would want to run on is this idea that, A, Republicans want to see a governor get that nomination because they feel like that displays competency. He was very good at handling hurricanes in Florida. He was seen as a competent manager. But you know what? Jeb Bush is also a guy who's worked with this president. He's worked very closely with Arne Duncan. They agree a lot on education reform. And so he's cozied up enough to Barack Obama that he's got to kick away from him and put distance between himself and the president and start slamming the president because they're still a part of the Republican base that's suspicious of the Bushes.
He's in this thing. He's going to Colorado. I mean, he's making the rounds.
Yeah, I think he's running. And
so how's he going to be received?
The problem that Jeb Bush has is that his last name is Bush. And the previous President Bush didn't do a great job as president. And it also is there's some fatigue. There's, you know, do we really want a third President Bush? But Jeb Bush has wanted to be president for a very long time. I don't think his ambition has dimmed in the slightest. But yeah, he's got to deal with the last name.
Pap, what do you make all of this? Is Jeb Bush in? And is he really the front runner for the Republicans at this point? What do you think?
He needs to get busy. If you take a look at just the Value Voters Summit, incredible numbers, and I've got them right here. It's Value Voters Summit, Ted Cruz, #1, Ben Carson, #2, Mike Huckabee, and this is very interesting. The write-in candidate had 1.4% of the Voters Summit votes. Jeb Bush had 0.22%. So he's got a lot of work to do. They've held him back like he is their ace in the hole. The GOP thinks they're going to unleash Jeb Bush, and he's going to change this chaotic picture for the GOP with a whole carload of really crazies up there running for president. But he's got some problems. First of all, he looks a little schizophrenic. Day one, he's not going to run. Mama says he's not going to run. Wife says he's not going to run. His advisors are telling the big money people to hold their powder dry. So it's a crazy picture right there. But you know what? They've always held him back as if he's the guy that's going to unite the GOP. Right now, he better get busy if he's going to be serious about it, because this can get away from him when you start seeing numbers like Value Voters saying, you know, we don't really care much for this guy. Same thing happened in the Republican Leadership Conference. He didn't even register there with the vote. So he has to get busy.
Well, he's kind of a Bob Dole Democrat, or Bob Dole Republican, isn't he? I mean, he's not one of these contemporary Tea Party nut jobs. I mean, there is some balance to the guy in some sense, isn't there?
Well, look, Republicans have worked hard to keep all the Jeb Bush character defects away from the public. The GOP plan was to roll Jeb out as this new, improved, intelligent version of George W. They wanted him to look more like Daddy Bush than the troubled big brother version of a Bush. But now we see exactly with this anti-science position he takes on Ebola, we see this side where basically it suggests that that maybe he's not that much different. Maybe they've been able to cover up what he really is. And I think what you're going to see is a real cuckoo side to this guy before it's all over, just like you see with Ted Cruz, Huckabee, Rick Perry.
Why isn't he hugging up to Rick Scott right now? There's a big race down there in Florida. It would seem to me that if Jeb Bush is going to run for president, Joy, he would certainly want Rick Scott to be the man.
He's been slamming Charlie Crist. Charlie Crist reversed a lot of Bush things. Charlie Crist has been a lot more progressive on things like voting rights than Jeb Bush was. They were in government at a lot of the same times. He knows both of these guys really well. And, of course, Rick Scott has those roots in Texas where he was a partner with George W. Bush and that baseball team. But here's the problem for Jeb. Jeb is, I think that Mike hits on an important point. Jeb Bush is a neocon. Jeb Bush is from that old school neoconservative wing of the party that the new libertarian wing does not trust and does not want any part of anymore. Jeb Bush has been pro-immigration reform for most of his political career.
Can he win Florida?
More recently. Can he win Florida? Sure. Yeah,
So he would be, if it were Hillary Clinton, you'd say that you think that Jeb, that would be a heck of a fight.
Well, that would be tough because Florida is Clinton country. And the other issue is Hillary Clinton would start off, she's not going to lose any states Barack Obama won. So which state does she give up to Jeb Bush? That's the problem that any Republican's going to have.
Pap, what about it? Who wins Florida, Clinton or Bush?
Clinton wins Florida. Look, Bush's positives is that unlike his brother, he thinks and speaks in complete, cogent sentences. That puts him ahead a little bit.
All right. Joy Reid, Mike Papantonio, good to have you with us tonight.